Today I will tell you about an old man. He was a fisherman. His name was Santiago. He lived in a small village by the sea. Santiago was very old. His face had many lines. His hands were rough and marked from fishing for many years. He had a thin body, but strong eyes. His eyes were bright and full of hope, even when life was hard. Santiago lived alone in a small house. He had no wife and no children. His bed was made of simple things. His walls were bare, and he had only the most basic furniture. But he was proud and clean. He never gave up his dignity. Every day Santiago went to the sea in his small wooden boat. He had no motor, only oars and a sail. The sail was old and full of patches. People in the village laughed and said the sail looked like the flag of defeat. But Santiago did not feel defeated. He still had courage inside him. For many weeks, Santiago had no luck. He caught no fish. Day after day, he came back with an empty boat. The other fishermen shook their heads. Some felt pity for him. Others thought he was finished. He had gone 84 days without catching a single fish. But Santiago had one true friend, the boy named Manolin. Manolin had learned to fish with Santiago since he was small. He loved the old man. He respected him and believed Santiago was the best fisherman he had ever known. The boy's parents, however, did not allow him to fish with Santiago anymore. They said, "The old man is unlucky. You must go with other fishermen." So the boy went on another boat where the men caught fish every day. But after work, Manolin always came to help Santiago. He carried his nets, brought food, and talked with him to keep him company. One evening, after another day with no fish, the boy came to see Santiago. They walked back to his little house together. The old man sat on his bed, and the boy asked, "Do you believe you will catch a big fish soon?" Santiago smiled. "Yes," he said. "Tomorrow I will go far out to sea, farther than anyone, out where the big fish are." The boy believed him. He always believed in Santiago. That night they ate together. The boy brought food because Santiago had little money. They shared rice, beans, and some beer. They talked about baseball. Santiago loved baseball. He loved the player Joe DiMaggio, who was strong and played even when he was in pain. Santiago said, "DiMaggio is my hero. If he can fight with pain, I can fight with the sea." After dinner, Santiago went to sleep early. He dreamed of lions, not of storms or women or fish. He dreamed of lions walking on the beaches of Africa where he had once sailed long ago. The lions were young, strong, and free. The dream gave him peace. Before dawn, Santiago woke up. He drank a little coffee. He carried his mast and gear to the boat. The boy helped him. Manolin wished him luck. The old man said, "Luck comes with courage." Then Santiago pushed his boat into the water. The sea was dark and calm. The stars still shone above. The old man rowed slowly, with strong, steady arms. He passed the near waters, where the other fishermen would stop. He kept rowing farther and farther until the land was only a faint shadow behind him. The sun rose. The sky turned pink, then gold. The sea sparkled. Flying fish jumped out of the water. Birds circled above, looking for food. Santiago followed them, watching carefully. He knew the sea well. He could read the signs. At last, he felt a small tug on his line. He caught a little tuna. He smiled. "This is good," he thought. "This small fish will be bait for something greater." The day grew hot. The sea stretched wide and endless. No land could be seen now. Santiago was alone. He waited patiently. He trusted the sea. Then, just before noon, he felt a deep pull on his strongest line. The pull was heavy, strong, and alive. His heart leaped. "This is no small fish," he whispered. "This is the one." The fish did not come up. It stayed far below, deep in the dark water. It was powerful. It began to swim away, pulling the boat behind it. The old man held the line tightly with both hands. The cord cut into his skin, but he held on. "Yes," he thought. "This is the biggest fish I have ever hooked. This fish will prove who I am." The great fish pulled the boat steadily toward the open ocean. It did not jump. It did not show itself. It swam deep, silent, and strong. Hours passed. The sun set. The stars returned. Still, the fish pulled. And still, Santiago held on. His hands hurt. His back hurt. But he spoke softly to the fish. "Fish," he said, "I will stay with you until one of us dies." The night grew cold. The old man ate a little from the small tuna to keep his strength. He tied the tiller with his foot and kept the line across his shoulders. He tried to sleep in short moments, but the pain in his hands kept him awake. Through the night, the fish swam on, towing the boat far out to sea. Santiago looked at the stars above. He thought of the boy. He thought of Joe DiMaggio. He thought of the lions in his dream. And he whispered to himself, "Tomorrow I will see this great fish, and I will fight him." Before I continue my story, please subscribe, share, and tell me where you are listening from. Your support means a lot to me. Now let's continue. The night was long, and Santiago did not sleep. He held the line tightly in his tired hands. The great fish swam far below the boat, pulling it slowly through the dark sea. Santiago spoke to himself in a quiet voice. "You are my brother, fish," he whispered, "but I will kill you before this ends." His body hurt, but his spirit stayed strong. When the sun rose, the sea turned bright blue. The water shone like glass. Santiago looked at the horizon. No other boats were in sight. He was completely alone with the fish. He pulled the line gently, trying to test the strength of his catch. The fish pulled back with a powerful force. Santiago smiled. He is strong, he thought. He is noble. He will not give up easily. The line cut into his hands. His back was stiff. He felt his old age in every bone, but he refused to let go. He remembered Joe DiMaggio, who played baseball even with pain in his bone spurs. Santiago thought, if DiMaggio can fight in pain, so can I. He ate a piece of the tuna he had caught earlier, even though it was raw and cold. Food for strength, he told himself. The hours passed slowly. The fish kept swimming forward, never jumping, never showing itself. The boat drifted far away from land. Santiago spoke aloud, as if the fish could hear him. Fish, I love you and respect you. But I was born to fish, and you were born to be caught. I will fight you until the end. At noon, the fish made a sudden move. It rose slightly toward the surface, and Santiago saw the line rise with it. He braced himself. Then, for the first time, he saw the fish. The giant marlin broke the water and leaped into the air. Its body was long, shining, and silver blue. Its tail fin was wide like a sail. Its spear-like nose cut through the air before it crashed back into the sea. Santiago gasped. He is 2 feet longer than my boat, he cried. The marlin was the biggest fish he had ever seen. The sight filled him with both fear and joy. Now I know what I fight, he said to himself. This fish is my greatest challenge. This fish is my destiny. His heart pounded. His body trembled, but he tightened his grip on the line. The marlin dived again into the deep water, pulling the boat faster. The old man leaned back and let the line burn into his shoulders. He did not complain. He only prayed, God, give me strength. I must not fail. Hours passed into evening. The sun went down once more, and the stars came out. Santiago was tired and thirsty, but he dared not let go. He thought about the boy, Manolin. I wish the boy were here, he said softly. He would see what a great fish this is. He would help me, but I must prove I can do it alone. That night, the fish changed direction. It began to swim in great circles around the boat. Santiago knew this was a good sign. He is getting tired, he said. But each circle was wide, and the fish was still strong. Every time the fish came close, Santiago pulled in a little line, inch by inch. His hands bled. His back ached. He felt dizzy, but he refused to stop. By morning, his lips were dry and cracked. His left hand cramped and froze into a claw. Hand, he said, you must open. You must work. I need you. He rubbed it against the wood of the boat until slowly the cramp eased. His right hand was cut and bleeding from the rope, but he only wrapped it tighter. The fish rose again near the boat. Its body shone in the sunlight, silver and purple. Its great eye looked at Santiago. For a moment, the old man felt he was looking into the soul of a brother. "Fish," he whispered, "I love you. I have never seen anything greater, more noble, or more beautiful than you. But I will kill you before the sun sets. That is my duty." The marlin pulled once more, and Santiago was nearly dragged overboard. He braced himself, gritting his teeth. His old muscles strained, but he held firm. "You are killing me, fish," he said, "but I will kill you too." Another day and another night passed. Santiago barely slept. He chewed pieces of raw fish to stay alive. His arms shook with weakness. His eyes burned with tiredness, but his spirit stayed strong. "A man is not made for defeat," he said to himself. "A man can be destroyed, but not defeated." On the third day, the fish circled closer and closer. Santiago knew the end was near. The marlin was losing strength. Each turn brought him nearer to the boat. Santiago pulled the line slowly, steadily. His whole body shook with effort. Sweat ran down his face, mixing with salt from the sea. At last, the fish rose beside the boat. It was larger than Santiago had ever dreamed. Its body was long, shining, and powerful. It swam weakly, but with dignity. Santiago's heart filled with respect. "Never have I fought something so great," he whispered. "Thank you, fish, for this battle." He picked up his harpoon. His hands trembled. He stood slowly, his legs weak but steady. As the fish came close again, Santiago used all his strength and drove the harpoon deep into the marlin's side. The fish gave one final leap into the air, shining like a silver mountain. Then it crashed into the water and floated still. Santiago dropped the rope, exhausted. Tears filled his eyes. "You were my brother," he said softly to the fish. "But now you are dead, and I am not unworthy. You gave me the greatest fight of my life." He tied the marlin to the side of his boat. The fish was too large to fit inside. Its tail and head stretched far beyond the boat's length. Santiago looked at his prize with pride and sadness. "No one will believe how big you are," he said. "But I will take you home, and they will see." The sun was hot, and Santiago's body was weak. He set the sail and began the journey back to shore. His heart was full of victory, but also full of respect. He thought of the boy. "Manolin will be proud," he said. "He will see what I have done." But Santiago also knew the sea was not finished with him. "Now the real test begins," he whispered. "The fish is mine, but the sea will not give it easily. I must take him home. I must defend him." The old man closed his eyes for a moment, feeling the warm wind on his face. He was tired, broken, but proud. The great marlin floated beside him, shining in the sun. Together, the old man and the fish began the long journey back toward the village. The marlin was tied to the side of the boat. It was the largest fish Santiago had ever seen. The old man looked at it with both pride and sadness. Its silver-blue body shone under the sun, and its tail moved gently in the water as the boat drifted. Santiago felt proud because he had won the greatest fight of his life. But he also felt sorrow because the fish was so beautiful, and now it was dead. As the wind pushed the boat slowly toward the shore, Santiago thought of the boy, Manolin. He imagined the boy's face when he saw the size of the fish. He imagined the other fishermen in the village who had laughed at him before, now standing silent in wonder. "They will see," Santiago whispered. "They will see I am not finished yet. They will see I still have strength." But the sea was not finished with him. In the afternoon, as the boat moved closer to land, a shark appeared. Santiago saw its dark fin cut through the water. The shark had smelled the blood of the marlin, and it came fast, hungry and sure. Santiago's heart sank. "So it begins," he said softly. He picked up his harpoon and waited. The shark attacked the marlin, biting into its flesh with sharp teeth. Santiago stood and drove his harpoon deep into the shark's head. The water turned red. The shark struggled, then sank into the sea. Santiago was breathing hard, his hands shaking, but he had killed it. He looked at the marlin. A large piece of its flesh was gone. Blood spread in the water. Santiago shook his head. "Now others will come," he whispered. "I killed the first, but I cannot kill them all." And he was right. Soon, more sharks appeared, drawn by the blood. They came in groups, their fins cutting the surface. They circled the boat, then rushed in to attack. Santiago fought with all his strength. He used the harpoon again and again, killing some, driving others away. But each time he fought one, more came. When his harpoon was lost, pulled away by a shark, Santiago made new weapons. He tied his knife to the end of an oar and fought with that. He stabbed the sharks as they came close, his arms burning with effort, his body weak with hunger and pain. But still, they kept coming. The sea grew red with blood, and pieces of the marlin's flesh floated away. Santiago felt his heart breaking as he watched the great fish being destroyed. "I fought to kill him with honor," he said aloud, his voice trembling. "But the sharks eat him like thieves." As night fell, Santiago was exhausted. His hands were cut and bleeding. His back ached. His eyes were heavy. But still, he fought on. When his knife broke, he used an oar to hit the sharks. When the oar was broken, he used the tiller of the boat. He fought with every last bit of strength. By midnight, the marlin was almost gone. Only the head, the backbone, and the great tail fin remained. The sharks had eaten the flesh, leaving only bones. Santiago looked at what was left and felt tears in his eyes. "I killed him," he whispered, "and I brought him home, but I could not protect him. I am only one man. I could not do more." The sharks finally left. There was nothing more for them to eat. The sea grew quiet again, and the boat drifted in the dark. Santiago lay back in the boat, broken in body but not in spirit. "A man is not made for defeat," he said again. "A man can be destroyed, but not defeated." Slowly the boat moved toward shore. The stars shone above, and Santiago looked at them with tired eyes. He thought of the boy again. "I must live," he whispered. "I must go home. The boy will care for me. He will see that I am not finished." When dawn came, the village was near. Fishermen on the shore saw the boat coming. They saw the great skeleton of the marlin tied to the side. Its head and tail rose high, and its long backbone shone white in the sun. The fishermen were shocked. They had never seen a fish so large. Even as only bones, it was greater than any fish they had caught. Santiago reached the shore at last. He was too weak to carry his mast or his gear. Step by step, he dragged himself to his little house and lay down on his bed. He fell into a deep sleep, his body shaking from pain and exhaustion. The villagers gathered around the boat. They measured the skeleton of the marlin. It was longer than the boat itself. They whispered to each other, amazed. "The old man has done the impossible," they said. "This fish is the greatest we have ever seen." Later, the boy Manolin came to the old man's house. He saw Santiago sleeping. He saw the wounds on his hands, the deep cuts, the scars of the battle. Tears filled the boy's eyes. "He is my hero," he whispered. "He will always be my hero." When Santiago woke, the boy was at his side. "I will fish with you again," Manolin said. "My parents can say what they want, but I belong with you. You have taught me courage, and I will never leave you again." Santiago smiled weakly. "We will fish together," he said. "But first, I must rest." The boy brought him food and water. He cared for him like a son. Outside, the villagers still talked about the great fish. Tourists came to see the skeleton and asked about the old man who caught it. But Santiago did not hear them. He slept deeply, dreaming again of lions on the beach. The story of Santiago is not just about fishing. It is about courage and dignity. He was an old man, weak in body, but his spirit was strong. He fought the greatest fish he had ever seen. He won the battle with the marlin, but he could not keep it from the sharks. Still, he was not defeated. He proved to himself, to the boy, and to the world that true strength is not in winning or losing, but in never giving up. In his heart, Santiago knew that the sea had taken much from him, but it had also given him something greater, a chance to show his courage, his endurance, and his pride as a fisherman. The lions of his dreams were young, strong, and free. Like them, his spirit remained unbroken. And so, the old man rested in his small house by the sea, with the boy by his side, and the skeleton of the marlin standing as a silent proof of his greatness. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and subscribe to English Medium Stories. Stay with us for more classic stories in easy English.